Good morning. My name is Jordan Crow, and I'm one of the youth ministers at Pleasant Valley Church of Christ. This is Second Cup. Second Cup is just a brief time during the week where ministers or members of our church are going to come and share a thought while you enjoy your second cup of coffee. You may also be wondering, Jordan, why didn't you make yourself at least somewhat presentable for this second cup? And the reality of it is, this is what I look like during my second cup of coffee and my third, fourth, and fifth cup of coffee, because I'm not really getting around to showering these days. My life has kind of devolved into absolute chaos, which I know a lot of ours has. But I was thinking, my wife and I, we lead devotionals about twice a week on Facebook and Instagram. And we always try to find the cleanest corner of our house, which is a very rare corner in our circumstance. And we always make sure that if my hair looks like this, I'm putting on a hat. Audrey might put on makeup. But we want to present our best selves. And I was thinking, why do I do that? And the reason is I don't want to come off as incompetent. I don't want to come off as someone who doesn't know what's going on or have a good handle on their life. And I'm afraid that if I showed the world what's really going on in my house and the dirty silverware that's on the floor from last night's dinner, they might think, wow, Jordan does not really have it going on. They might judge me, they might ridicule me, they might think bad thoughts behind my back. And I'm so afraid of feeling incompetent in that. And so I was thinking about that, and I was wondering, okay, where is a good story in the Bible where somebody kind of owned their incompetence? And I came to this. This is in Mark chapter 14. And as Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came. And seeing Peter warming himself, she looked at him and said, "You also were with the Nazarene Jesus." But he denied it, saying, "I neither know nor understand what you mean." And he went out into the gateway, and the rooster crowed. And the servant girl saw him and began again to say to the bystanders, "This man is one of them." But again he denied it. And after a little while the bystanders again said to Peter, "Certainly you are one of them, for you are a Galilean." But he began to invoke a curse on himself and to swear, "I do not know this man of whom you speak." And immediately the rooster crowed a second time. Peter remembered how Jesus had said to him, "Before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." And he broke down and he wept. The interesting thing about this, in Peter owning his incompetence, is there was nobody around who would have really known Peter, who could have reported this. And so Peter would have had to have gone to the gospel writers, to his brothers and sisters, and said, "Hey, I denied Jesus at Jesus' lowest point. When Jesus was arrested, when he didn't have a friend in sight, when he was absolutely alone, I could have stood up for him, and I flat out denied him." And he would have had to told that story to somebody else. And that's interesting to me, because that's Peter owning his incompetence, his weakness. And I don't do that. I feel like a lot of Christians don't do that. There's another interesting verse in 2 Corinthians, and Paul says this. Paul's a famous Christian writer, missionary, and he says this: 3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that he would take this thorn out of my side. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weakness, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, I am strong." My fear is that I think I'm a pretty good person. And pretty good people only kind of need Jesus. Maybe they kind of need Jesus on a Sunday morning or a Wednesday night. But people who understand how weak they really are, when they understand how sinful they are, how incompetent they are, they desperately need Jesus. And they're the kind of people that depend on Jesus and lean on Jesus every day. And I'm afraid that I don't do that well. I don't desperately call out to him. I don't desperately lean on him. I kind of use him when I need him, and I kind of check him off a box sometimes. And a lot of that comes back because I don't want you to think I'm incompetent, so I'm not going to show you my weakness. And I will never know how great God's goodness is until I know how deep my weaknesses are. So today, I'm showing you a little bit of the real me, And I hope that from here I go out and I show a little more of my weaknesses and I boast how strong God is through my weaknesses. So until next time, enjoy your second cup.